fundamental level. This is why. Hey guys, so a few weeks back, I made a video going over the P.L.A.T.E, P.L.A.T.E hitting philosophy that I used in my career, and a lot of guys I've worked with, I've helped kind of them understand that. And obviously that was an overview of the entire system. P was pitch, L location, A action, T timing, E execution. I thought it would be very helpful now to go more in depth on each one of those letters. We'll be doing pitch a little bit later. Obviously with pitches, there's only a certain amount of pitches you're really going to be going after and attacking. And I want to make sure I think about that and develop that a little bit more before making a video. So we're going to start with location. And this is obviously, you know, when I made that video, I was talking about most guys should be hunting anywhere from outer half or inner half. You know, whether you're a left-handed hitter or a right-handed hitter, you should be looking at halves of the plate. Now, the reality is we can split this as many times as we want. You know, when I was in big league camp with the Reds, Joey Votto went over what he looks for at the plate. And I mean, if you were sitting in there 10 minutes into his speech about where he hunts, what he's looking for, it looked like a diagram, like a physics equation. I mean, he's drawing circles over here. I know with 2 strikes, they're going to give it right here. So he's going to try to attack me here. And then they're going to bust me up in here. So I got to make sure I can defend that. And I mean, it was ridiculous. And I remember thinking, how does this guy even think like that? But that's why, you know, he was such an elite hitter for so long. But I don't suggest many people thinking like that at the plate. I think he was kind of an outlier in that regard. Most guys, they thought like that, it would be, you know, paralysis by analysis. They would be thinking so much they really wouldn't be able to execute. So this is going to be more in depth, but not Joey Votto in depth. So let's just think about it like this. Let's say you're a right-handed hitter facing a right-handed sinker guy. From his hand, that ball is going to come straight and then down and underneath the hands of a right-handed hitter. So I'm not looking for something bottom of the zone against a sinker guy because it's going to fall even further out of the zone. I'm looking for something up, but not inside, because inside, what's it going to do? It's going to bust me in my hands, jam me, and, you know, break my bat. So I'm looking for something that's starting up on the outer half of the plate. So that means I'm looking for something like this. If you're saying this is the heart, which means no matter what you're hunting, you're always going to be attacking pitches in the heart. You're really looking for something like in this quadrant right here. So if you're facing a right-hand sinker guy as a right-handed pitcher, you're looking for up and away. Now, obviously with 2 strikes, even 1 strike, if you don't really want to get to 2, you can open that up a little bit more. You can maybe make it look more like this or like this. But again, you're making the incremental change. That's something that Joey Votto actually said is, you know, before he has 1 strike, he's very, very slow. And, you know, he was known for leading the league in walks for years. I mean, he has a great eye at the plate. And again, so it's, you know, this is something that's unique to him, but he was very selective before 1 strike. 0 strikes, I mean, he's looking for like a golf ball size spot. And that's what he said. He's like, if it's thrown in my spot, I'm not going to miss it, but anywhere else, I'm not swinging. 1 strike, he'd open it up. A little bit more zone he's looking for. And then obviously with 2 strikes, you got to put it in play if it's anywhere close. But that was something I got from Joey Votto talking, was, you know, how you can be more selective with your first pitch. A lot of guys think, well, I don't want to get to 2 strikes or whatever. But if you're swinging at like trying to cover the entire zone because you're scared to get to 2 strikes, you're going to end up hitting a lot of pitches you're not looking for, and you're not going to be successful doing that. So, you know, that's what the right-handed sinker guy. Again, it's the same thing for a lefty. Just reverse it. You're looking for something out and away. Now, let's see if we can erase these a little bit. Let's say you're looking for you're facing a 4-seam guy. You're facing a 4-seam guy. And you're a left-handed pitcher. So what are you worried about? 4-seam guy with ride? That ball is going to get above your barrel at the top of the zone, middle of the zone or up. But you remember, we're talking about the heart. So if you're facing the 4-seam guy, you're not worried about it kind of running or cutting or anything like that. You may run into some 4-seam guys that have a little cut. But again, it's not going to be enough that really makes that much of a difference. So we're facing a four seam guy as a lefty. We're looking for right here, man. We're looking for right here because we're not worried about movement. Anything below this, we're hunting. Now again, with zero strikes, it may be something like this, right? We're not really looking for the corners. We're looking for it in the heart, but we're not going above the heart of the zone. And then obviously with two strikes, maybe that whole square, or one strike, that whole square, and then two strikes, you know, you're covering the whole zone. So you know, you got to think like this on the locations you're hunting, because again, I remember facing a guy, I can't even remember pronounce his name, Mark Rashemsky. That might even be right, with the Seattle Mariners in big league camp. He was a lefty. He could throw at mid-90s, and it had, I mean, just a ton of run and sink. And I remember telling myself, you know, if it's inner half, I got to get so far inside that pitch with two strikes because it's just going to blow me up. And I ended up working a walk against him in like a 12 pitch at bat. But I mean, it was just something that as a left-handed hitter, if he threw you an inner half, inner third sinker, power sinker, you had no chance. Like, you weren't going to get inside that thing. So I had to think like that. Before two strikes, I had to look outer half and let that thing run back into the middle of the plate. So that's your four seam guys. Again, for righties out there, it's going to be the same thing, right? You're going to be looking for the same thing. You know, you're hunting more the bottom of the zone, anything in the heart of the plate or below. That's what we're hunting. Now, let's say you're facing a cutter guy. Let's say you're facing a cutter guy, right-handed cutter guy. Right-handed cutter guy, again, what's it going to do? Instead of going sinker side, it's going to go like this, right? It's going to have a little bit of cut. Most of the guys you face in high school or college, they'll have a cutter, not really a legit cutter. Your legit cutters it's a fastball. Now, some guys may say, well, that's a cut fastball and a cutter's this. You know, I can just tell you from at the pro level, when you see a cutter that's 3 or 4 off a fastball, it's really just kind of a hard slider. It looks more like that from the hitter's perspective. I don't care what the spin rate analytics say, it being a cutter or not. From the hitter's perspective, if your cutter is 3, 4, 5 off your fastball, meaning if your fastball is 96 and your cutter is 91, it really just looks like a hard slider. And really, that's kind of your typical big league slider. It's not that big a difference from their fastballs. So your cutter is going to be, if your fastball is 96, your cutter is 95. Your cutter's maybe 94. I mean, Mariano Rivera, 96 mile-an-hour cutters. Guys that have legit cutters, they really don't even want to throw fastballs because a cutter is such an elite pitch. So your righty's throwing a cutter from a right-handed perspective. I'm looking for something inside, right? We got the heart of the plate here. I'm looking for something in because it's going to come back over the middle of the plate. Over the middle of the plate. If it starts out here, it's probably going to run off the plate. And if I do have two strikes, I got to really fight to get out there. I got to get my hands and my bat out there. The reason is if you're swinging to where the pitch looks like it's going to have that late cut, and you're probably going to cap it or you're going to swing and miss entirely. So remember, as a righty facing a cutter guy, you're trying to make sure your bat's going to where it's going to end up. You're trying to really get out there, and you're looking for it to start in so it ends up going there. So you're really looking for something like this. I mean, you're really looking for this right here as a right-handed hitter against a cutter guy. You're looking for that. Obviously, you can minimize it with 4-0 strike or 4-1 strike, but that's the general location. Now, for a lefty, it's going to be the opposite, because a cutter guy, he throws you one inner third. It's going to be really tough to get your hands inside. I mean, the opposite is true as a lefty. When you're facing a cutter guy, you really got to tell yourself to get inside and past that pitch. Meaning, as much as I think I got to get inside the pitch, I got to exaggerate because it's going to be cutting in on me, which means that's going way down your barrel. So really, you got to tell yourself to really turn those hips past the pitch dramatically to get inside it and be able to hit it for damage. So as a lefty, you're looking for basically, this is what you're looking for here. You're eliminating this side, and you're looking for it to start outer half and come back over the middle of the plate. So really, it's kind of the same zone is what you're looking for, right? You're looking for something in the heart of the plate. You're looking for it to start really more out here, maybe right here, down, and have it come, again, you're having it come maybe this far. I mean, not much different. So that's kind of a cutter guy. So really, those are the three fastballs. I mean, you're really gonna be worried about. Again, we can go over off speed real quick. I mean, a breaking ball or a slider. Changeup's a little bit harder to hunt because there's so many different changeups. You know, you have the four seam changeup. You have kind of a split change. It has just a lot of drop on it. You got, you know, circle change. You got changeup. Really is always going to mimic the fastball of the pitcher, generally speaking. So if you got a four seam guy, it's going to be more of a four seam changeup, or unless he has a split grip. He's a two seam sinker guy. Changeup's probably going to mimic that. Just going to be slower. So based on that action, you know where to hunt in the zone. Breaking pitches, again, I've talked about this, but just to go over a little bit more, breaking pitches, you're always looking for something that's starting near the top of the zone or slightly above. Depending on how big the break is, if you got one of those massive curveballs, it's got to start way above the zone. But if you're hunting a slider, which is normally what you're going to see, most guys' best pitch, off-speed pitch is a slider or a changeup. So if you're hunting a slider, you're really looking for it to start up here. You're eliminating the bottom of the zone. So you're not hitting anything down here. You're hitting everything up here. So just think about it, guys. Remember, you always got to think about the heart of the zone, the heart of the plate. That's always where you're always looking for that. But then adjust it based on the pitch. So for a breaking ball, I'm not hunting anything down here because that's going to end up being a ball. It's going to be really tough to get underneath. Anything up here is going to be that hanger that flattens out, and it's really easy to elevate and hit it for damage. So hope this helps, guys. Obviously, I mean, we could talk about these all day, to be honest. We could go an hour in here. If you do have anything in particular you want to be talked about, don't hesitate. Send it in the comments. I try to respond to all of you guys. So anything you're looking for, don't hesitate. Put it in the comments. Again, if you're looking for help in the recruiting process, go to our website, EliteSportsAdvising.com. Fill out an eval request on the front page. We'll meet with you, figure out, all right, where you may fit at the college level, and see if you guys are interested in working with us. Appreciate all the support, guys, and we'll be back with another video tomorrow.